I used to spend so many hours every single week trying to drum up leads. I would be DMing people, I'd be attending networking events, I'd be looking for speaking engagements. At one point, I had a team of 65 salespeople that's job it was to cold call 300 times a week and knock on doors. And I ultimately hated it and burnt the heck out. And I vowed from that lesson that I was never going to do it again and that I had to figure out something that was better. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through exactly what I did, because the bottom line is you need leads. They need to come in consistently, and manually doing it is going to drive you insane, not be successful, and ultimately not get you to the sales results that you want. And so I'm going to break it down for you, talk about what I did, walk you through my lead gen process, and give you an opportunity to join the lead process lab this coming October, because the wait list is officially open. If you want to do this with me in 5 days, really working through all of yours, including all of the assets related to your lead process and the technology tools, getting them all set up, you're going to want to join the Lead Process Labs Bootcamp. So make sure you check out the link to the waitlist in the description below. And I'm also going to tell you my favorite technology tool to get this done. So let's get to work. All right, so let's talk about the problem, which is manual lead generation. Manual lead generation, it actually makes me itchy to think about. Anything manual is not in my wheelhouse. It's not something that I am into, but I was into it for a very long time. And primarily before all of our current modern day 2025 types of things were available to us to really truly generate leads. Now I have completely automated my process, and the process that I'm going to share with you today, and that I ultimately go really in detail into in my leads process lab, is a process that generates between 75 and 175 leads on any given day coming into my business. And guess what? I don't even have to touch them. They come in, they go through a nurture, we develop the know, like, and trust, and then ultimately they hit a button and either buy or schedule a time to sit down and talk with me so that I can sell them and actually sell them something in my business that's more high ticket. And so manual lead generation is definitely the number one leading cause of what I would say chaos in someone's business. And when I hear people say that they're afraid to start their business or that they hate being in their business, it's usually because they hate the selling part, because being a salesperson is definitely something that is not for the faint of heart. It is a special skill set. And a lot of folks start their businesses and it's not their skill set. But if you are manually doing it, you definitely hate it. You're probably not that great at it. And it's causing you to hate what you do every single day in your business, especially. The other thing that's wrong with manual lead generation is that you just can't sustain it. It's not sustainable. And then the leads that you generate end up falling through the cracks. They never really truly become customers because you have ghosted them on several occasions. When I say ghosted, I mean you haven't followed up, you haven't touched base, you haven't reached out, you haven't developed the know, like, and trust. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you just start sending out email messages or reaching out to people to try to make some sales. You haven't dated them long enough before you actually wanted to get married. And that's just weird. I've talked about it before, but that's what manual lead generation processes create. They create this environment that if you aren't really, really disciplined and able to really sustain a manual effort, then you are probably not dating your potential clients long enough before you expect them to jump the broom with you and actually get married. And all of this makes it very, very difficult for you to focus on growth and for you to serve your clients. So as a consultant that is probably in the thick of being in their business all the time, doing the service, doing all the different roles, sales or lead generation is one of those things that falls by the wayside. And so what happens is you don't have consistency in the leads. They're not coming in regularly. So when you finally get the time after you've delivered a service to a client, or you finished up a big project, or you've attended a bunch of stuff, or you're doing your thing in your business, which you should be doing, Once you finally found the time in between all of that stuff to actually do some lead generation, you have to wait the entire lead generation cycle in order to start seeing sales again. And that creates the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs of the finances and the money and the revenue that most consultants will experience in their careers and in their journeys. And that ain't where it's at. It's a big part of the reason why I see people who are amazing at what they do. Their skills are off the charts. They are real experts. They could really make a boatload of money being consultants, and they end up going back to work for somebody else, going back into corporate America because they couldn't just make enough money in their consulting businesses to survive. And 90% of the time when I meet with them, I am thinking to myself, where's your process? Where's your automation? Where is your lead generation process? Right? Anything that's important in your business that you really, really want it to bring results, you have to create a process around it. And lead generation is the number one most important process that you need to have in your business, because without leads, you don't have sales. And without sales, you don't make money. And without money, you don't have a business, because you are not volunteering. You are in business, like I tell my class, you are in business to make what? Money. Absolutely. Drop money in the comments below if you knew the answer to that and you agree. You are in business to make money. And in order to make money, you've got to have leads. So let's just get this whole concept into your brain right now. Stop with the manual lead generation. Stop thinking that you are going to be successful at lead gen if you are doing it completely manually. Take a break, take a deep breath, and spend the time to set up the right structure and processes in your business so that you can get out of the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, and really make a go of this consulting journey. Now, let's talk about the fix, because we just talked about the problem. I'm about to share with you the fix. Let's get into it. The lead generation process. You guys have heard me talk about it before, and I've kind of put it inside of a framework, and it is called my ACN Framework. And it is all based around that. And all of those steps are completely automated, as much as possible, I should say. Not completely, but as much as possible. Definitely the C and definitely the N, but the A is as automated as it possibly can. And the key to having a good ACN process is having a good tool or system to help you in the process. And you guys have already heard me talk about them, but my tool of choice, especially right now, is Go High Level. They have everything that you need to pull off all of the steps in ACN. And I was able to wrangle for you guys a 30-day free trial, which everybody else, I think, or if you go to the website, you'll get a 14-day free trial. I was able to wrangle a 30-day free trial, and I totally recommend that you take advantage of it, because this is the tool. This is the system that will not only allow you to automate this ACN process that I'm about to share with you, but to also grow with it into the future of your business. And it's going to give you everything that you need in order to really, truly pull off ACN, but most importantly, to make sure that you're not ghosting your leads and that they will actually eventually become sales, right? So ACN, as you guys know, stands for Attract, Capture, and Nurture. Attract, capture, and nurture. Those are the three big steps in my lead gen process. And each of them uses a different aspect of Go High Level in order to get them done. The first being attract. Attract means all of the ways, all of the platforms, all of the methods that you are going to use as an aspiring or growing consultant in order to attract leads into your business. And who you're attracting is really the first step in the A. Figuring out in depth, in detail, who your ideal customer is. It's so important for you to know, because you cannot create an attract strategy or a marketing strategy if you don't know who you are marketing to. Marketing is an extremely psychological process. People buy based off of emotions. And if you don't understand the psychology of marketing, you will have no idea what to do when it comes to marketing. And it's okay. Give yourself some grace if you don't know what to do, because unless your corporate background and expertise and skill is in marketing, you wouldn't know, right? Unless you're a marketing consultant. But in order to attract, which is the A in our process, sorry guys, I am getting over an illness, especially if my energy levels are low. I want to apologize now, because I've been sick and I'm just trying to make sure that I can keep bringing you these videos. So if you feel me and you forgive me, please put a heart in the comments below. because I'm not feeling great. I'm tired as hell. Okay. I'm not feeling great. But anyway, so attracting means that you have to bring leads into your business. My lead generation process is a completely inbound lead generation process, and I use various channels and methods. If you are a consultant, your top three, I'm going to do a whole nother video on what the top three attraction methods should be when you are a consultant that you should be considering, but it is going to involve online and offline strategies. Offline, meaning like networking events or speaking engagements or just, opening up your Rolodex and tapping into people that you've known for years. Online is what you think of, right? Digital marketing, social media marketing, blogging or SEOing your website, all of those types of online strategies. But you're going to choose a few of those, just a few, not all, because you can't do them all. And you are going to build an attraction strategy around that ideal customer. And when you do that, the biggest piece is making sure that you are continuing to bring value and give them and highlight your expertise. Give them what they need in order to really experience that they have a problem, that problem can be solved, and to also identify you as one of the solutions to that problem. And so with that attraction piece, you're going to make sure that you are consistently providing those things to your audience, whether you're doing it online or offline. No matter what, your focus is going to be, hey, let me make sure that I identify this is my ICA. Let me give them something that will attract them to me, flirt a little bit. And then once they come in, you move on to the C in the ACN network, which is really where your technology tool go high level comes into play and where you're able to really officially capture. Now, the capture means exactly what it sounds like. You got to capture them. You got to bring them into your business off of whatever channel you were using or out of whatever channel you were using to attract them. So if you were doing offline tools or channels or ways or strategies in order to attract them into your business, you've got to get them out of the networking event, out of the speaking event, out of the Rolodex and into your business, right? Into your business. And if you were doing online or digital attraction methods and strategies, you've got to get them offline, out of your DMs, out of liking your page, out of watching your YouTube video, and into your business. And so the best way to capture them into your business is to provide them with something that is so irresistible, like a free tool or a training or something special that you know can really tap into helping them achieve something really quickly, give them a quick win in their business. And in exchange for you giving that to them, they're going to give you their name and their email. And that is how you're going to capture them into your business. Nowadays, I recommend name, email, and cell phone number because you can do an entire nurture situation around texting as well. And some people prefer text to email. So you're going to capture their name, email, and phone number into your business by using a landing page. And again, Go High Level covers all of this. And I want to talk a little bit about that here shortly. But once you capture them into your business and they are on your email and SMS text list, then you move on to number 3 in the ACN network, which is the N, which means you nurture. Now, the nurture is the dating, right? It's the dating part of the entire process. And I love the nurture. It's my favorite part. And I have actually, learned over the years that you can nurture too long, but you can also not nurture at all. And a lot of people really, really, really don't do a great job at the nurture. Again, I get into a lot of detail exactly what your nurture should be, how long it should be in the Leads Process Bootcamp, which is opening up this coming fall. So make sure that you join the wait list. But the nurture is my favorite part. And there are going to be 2 ways that you can nurture your potential customers or your leads: via email and or via phone in the SMS that you have just captured. And that nurture means to continue to work the relationship. You continue to communicate. You continue to get to know one another. You continue to make sure that you're bringing them value. And you're going to do that through regular, consistent communication. A lot of people say, well, no, Cheryl, I have an email list and I send out emails and it's still not working. I bet you are not consistent. When I say consistent, I mean as soon as you capture them, the first 10 days of them being a part of your business, you have literally got to talk to them every day or every other day. Continuing to drop nuggets, continuing to give them support, continuing to help them solve the problem that they really do have, because that's why you captured them in the first place. Whatever your freebie was, whatever your quick win was, continue to help them work through that problem so they can get to a solution in the first 10 days. After the first 10 days, you're going to continue to communicate with them on a weekly basis. I have an email list that hears from me every single week, and that I'm dropping nuggets and giving them value every single week. I'm giving extra content that you don't even get here on CPTV. So if you're not on my email list, you should be, but don't worry, if you join the wait list, you will be, of course. But I continue to bring value and give all kinds of stuff. And my email open rates, because I do such a great job nurturing, are way above industry standards. It's funny because I can talk to somebody and they're like, you have a good email open rate if 20% or 25% of your list opens your email. And I we're usually 37 to 42% open rates every single week. And that's because I have nurtured my leads from the very beginning of our relationship, and they continually receive stuff from me that even if they never pay me, they can employ it in their lives and in their businesses and experience a transformation or experience some type of result. And that's what I mean when I say nurture, continuing to work them and date them. I shouldn't say work them. Date them in the first 10 days. And then every single week after that has to be a date night. And that's really what it does take. Yeah, the nurture, big piece. So now you're wondering, how do I get all this done, CP? And again, I've already mentioned them, but my preferred technology tool to do all of this, and really the only way that you're going to get it done is if you're utilizing technology, is going to be Go High Level. Go High Level allows you to do all of the steps in the process, right? It allows you to make sure that when you are capturing your lead, that they hit a landing page that's high converting. And the landing page is where you will actually be there and collect the name, the email, and the cell phone number. They have the landing pages. They have the email sequences that will automatically tag that lead coming in so that you know who that lead is and what they're interested in, and then begin to slowly drip out to them without you manually having to do it, emails and text messages that continue to nurture them and date them. All of it will happen behind the scenes as soon as someone hits that landing page. As long as you've built it behind in advance, you don't have to do anything else, because once someone is captured into your business, and this is where the automation becomes golden, you're going to be able to, through Go High Level, send them an email every couple of days for the first 10 days, whatever you want that email to contain. And then after that, automatically on an every week basis, you're going to be able to drop some additional dimes and continue to nurture them. The beautiful thing about Go High Level is that it also allows you to do it via email. You can do it via SMS text, and they have really stepped up their game when it comes to AI. And so they actually have built in like AI voice and AI chat. So you can actually really handle people's questions directly, which has been a game changer on the lead, generation process front. Not to mention the fact that Go High Level has a ton of stuff in there, the landing pages that you need, the opt-in forms that you need. They've got tons of experience and have been doing it for a long time, so they're already high converting, even if you have very little experience doing it in the past. And they really do provide you with a ton of stuff inside of the system. I definitely recommend it as a tool so that you will never need to get a different tool as you continue to grow your business, because they got all kinds of other stuff as you continue to grow in there as well. And there are really big pieces of it that can also manage your sales process if you don't have a technology tool helping you out there. So make sure that you check out Go High Level. Again, I got a link for you, 30-day free trial. Sign up for the trial, test it out, get it set up. Their team will help you get it set up to see about it. And I think it's going to change the game for you, because the manual ain't where it's at. We talked about that already, and you're just not going to get as far. And ultimately, if you want leads and you want sales, you got to create the process, and my ACN combined with Go High Level will get you exactly where you want to be. So for me, what changed after I automated my sales process? Number one, I stopped chasing clients. Leads started coming in regularly. I didn't have the ebbs and flows. When leads came in regularly, sales came in regularly. My calendar began to fill up without me even recognizing what was happening with discovery calls, which gave me more opportunities to sell. I could actually breathe and focus on strategy and growth in my business, and wasn't sitting around doing the one thing that I hated the most, which was like cold calling and and trying to generate leads. And I was able to delegate. Once my team began to grow and continue to expand, I was able to delegate a ton of it because it was completely automated and I had, processes and SOPs in place. So the best part is that it didn't take months to build. It didn't take a lot of effort to build. You can actually build it directly with me in my leads process lab if that's something that you want to do. It's 5 days. We'll get it all done for you, map out all the stuff. And with Go High Level, you can't go wrong. So make sure you check them out as well. And with that being said, my loves, again, let me know if you've got any other questions around leads. Like I said, we're going to get more in depth into the A and the C and the N. I'm really going to talk a lot about the A in an upcoming video, just the top 3 things that I think consultants must do in order to attract the right leads. But if you don't have a process, attracting them doesn't matter. You're focusing on the wrong thing, because if you do get them and you don't know what to do with them, you've wasted it. So that's what today's video was about, which is why I wanted to do it first. And with that being said, my loves, until next time, I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Mwah!